Good afternoon, Dark Desert Moon with another video. It is April 2nd. It is 1:09 p.m. and I just got done doing some things for work, and now I'm just kind of wanting to kick back and kind of release some of my thoughts and feelings of what's going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move a little bit on the floor and just kind of sit down instead of right hovering over my computer, and I hope you can hear me from this distance, but anyway, so I was thinking about, working on my video for the history and different cultures of witchcraft, which I will be covering. And just to clarify, like I said, I don't consider myself to be a witch, but I did kind of practice a little bit, and then I also did a lot of studying on witchcraft. I would say, I don't know, gosh, since I was a kid, off and on. And then as an adult, I started getting more and more into it. And then also kind of commingled that with my interest in religion. Long story for another video. But anyway, so as I was thinking, I kept thinking, I have not been making a lot of videos on my channel. And usually when I do make the videos, it's usually some sort of rant video, okay? And I'm really tired of ranting. I'm tired of hearing the same story. The purpose of me creating this channel was so I could break away completely from what happened on my other channel, which is what the content on my channel was primarily about. This particular channel that I'm wanting to start up, and I'm feeling as though I'm a little demoralized, mainly because when you are blacklisted or you've dealt with some sort of cyberbullying, which I did, and all of the issues that come along with it, you start becoming not so much fearful, but you do question, like, what is the point of doing anything if it's constantly being squished, squashed, manipulated, or whatever. Bagels. And I do think that I have been kind of blotted out, which is the name of this video. I feel as though I kind of have been blotted out, mainly because of the issue of the gang stalking, and also the people who were manipulating the gang stalking, or the orchestrators of it. And I know that when I had my YouTube channel back in 2018, not 2018, I'm sorry, 2008, and it started really doing well in 2009. And then all of a sudden, I have like 4 subscribers on my new channel. Now, I remember acquiring over 2,000 subscribers like within 2 weeks. I mean, I was doing really good on YouTube. And now I have 4 subscribers, which I'm grateful for. But let me explain. The thing is that I feel as though that this has become such a widespread issue that there are certain people who are in positions of power, perhaps even with companies such as Google, YouTube, whatever, that have prevented my videos from flourishing. Now, that is not in any way excusing my content or saying that I'm not promoting my channel or whatever, but I do have these suspicions because when I've dealt with like fake job interviews from different people and stuff like that, and it's so orchestrated, it's orchestrated in such a way in different distances and locations that you start thinking that perhaps there's a possibility that you have been blotted out. And I know that I was blotted out or blacklisted for religious views, which I had a right to do. And I have the right to practice whatever religion I want or have no religion at all. But I think there are certain people who felt as though you can't be a good leader or someone who is who represents an organization, or you can't. I think they were putting a lot of rules and restrictions that, of course, were against guidelines of the law. But the thing is that yeah, we do have the right, the freedom of religion in this country, and I don't believe that a person's religion is what makes them a good leader or someone who is able to set examples. The examples that need to be set as a good leader is somebody who takes direction. And sometimes I think when people think of sometimes people tend to intermingle work with personal preferences and things, and it's very easy to do. In fact, it's almost like instinct. Like you instinctively do it because it's a part of your life, your belief system. And it's so right, it's a part of your world, so much so that it's just something that you impose on other people. And people forget, that other people have rights. You know what I mean? And I don't believe that, you know, how can I say this? I can go on and on and on about how I feel as though there's a lot of people who do not practice their religion in a correct way. I can go on and on and on about why it is not appropriate to use religion as an excuse to bully a person or whatever. I can go on and on about that. But I've done that enough in my other channel. But my point is that, I would say for the people who have that sort of power and control over my video content, I would ask you kindly to release the stranglehold and let me move on with my life. There is nothing that conflicts or, what do you call it? There is nothing that I do on my channel that conflicts with what I would do in any sort of profession outside of that. And this is not even a profession, it's just me. It's part of my hobbies. YouTube is part of my hobbies. It's a part of being able to express something that I usually don't express with other people. A certain side. Like, there's certain things that you express with your spouse, right? Because there's a form of intimacy there, right? So you exchange certain things that you're not going to exchange with a coworker, or you're not going to exchange that with a next door neighbor, right? And like, for example, I have a great interest in the paranormal. It is a part of my life. It is. And it's a part that does not belong out in the general public. Now, yes, YouTube is available to everyone, but it's by choice. You see what I'm saying? So it's it's a way to release, certain things that I have inside of me, and that's important. It's a part of my spiritual growth to talk about the things that I love, and I do love the paranormal. I do. I live within that world, and I think, to I think it's a lot of it too is why people participate in things like, bullying and stalking and stuff like that, is because maybe they've never heard of somebody who does not go to church before. They maybe never heard of that before. Because it's normal for people to go to church and participate in church activities and that sort of stuff. And I do not do those things. And I think the fact that they wanted me to be converted to their form of religion, of course, was to gain control over me. That's one of the number one things that religion does. It's about control and social order, and not necessarily about a spiritual growth and belief system. Now, I'm not trying to belittle anyone's faith in any way, but to me, in my form of spirituality, it has very little to do with the material plane. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for having food on my table. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I am so grateful for those things, okay? But it is seriously about a spiritual connection that I strongly believe in and would prove it. Seriously, I'm so deep with that is like so deep within me. Like it's like I'm almost one with it. Like I don't I prefer to be in a constant state of contemplation um, of these great things, these great mysteries. And I prefer this world of the great mysteries more so than I do earthly life, you see. And it's needs to be a part of my life, and it needs to be expressed. And it needs to be expressed to people who want to hear it. And it demoralizes a person because once you get that form of, how do you call it, obstruction, once you get that form of I don't know, like a kind of an attack. It is an attack on your personal character, and they wipe out projects. I remember having a very hard time finding a job. And it took me a long time, or I was being set up in jobs where I was being bullied or whatever, harassed or whatever. Um, it starts to play on your mind and is there anything that I can do without it having some sort of problem? And this is where I think that boundaries are important. I don't have a relationship with my family, okay? And that's just the way it is because, and I don't want to go into it, I've gone into it long enough, okay? But I have rights. You know what I mean? I have rights and I'm aware of them. And uh, I don't believe that the things that I talk about and the things that I believe on my channel um, affects who I am with the general public, and that means people that I meet on the street, people that I know, or as acquaintances, people that I work with. I keep that completely separate from, that part of my life. But, and this is why I think sometimes people want to hold grudges or they want to use certain things on social media, forms of social media, to make decisions. Like I know back in, I think it was 2008 or 2009, where this guy was talking about how he uses Facebook profiles to determine whether he's going to hire someone or not. And, what got me upset about that is, and I understand, there's certain things that people do on Facebook that they should not do on Facebook. But things that go on in Facebook can be misinterpreted and can also be used as some sort of political attack. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says that, they're talking on Facebook and they're talking about them having believing in a certain political party. Maybe they're Democratic and maybe the person who's doing the hiring is Republican and they don't want to hire this person because of political issues, or it could be based on religious. It could be because maybe they saw this picture of a person having a drink, okay, in a restaurant. There is nothing wrong with a person having a drink at a restaurant, okay? But they might say, oh, that person could be alcoholic. And, they make up things or whatever. I don't believe it's a great judge or it bases, it should be used to determine whether a person is a fit for their qualifications. You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things, like, for example, if you find out this person's selling drugs or something, and they're talking about being arrested on Facebook, okay, I get that, okay? I wouldn't hire someone like that, okay? But, I don't know what it was on Facebook that people attack so much. Maybe it's because I must have looked pretty nice in that picture. I mean, mind you, it was a really cool picture. It was me with very short hair, and I was sitting on a couch, and I was fully clothed, and that was it. But I do know that something on Facebook created issues. I have never put anything on my Facebook channel that was immoral in any way. I have never said anything on Facebook. And also, I think when people say things about, like, for example, the company that they work for on social media, they'll thrash it, or they're saying things like, oh, I don't want to go to work tomorrow, I'm so tired, blah, 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 and they'll talk about their boss, blah, 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 blah. That sort of stuff, I can fully understand why somebody would terminate a person. That's different because you're making a company look bad or something along those lines. That is a reason for, but because a person is going on about their daily life and they're not doing anything controversial or wrong, whatever. But some people, like I think the people who got involved in my Facebook issue, some people have personal preferences, and like I know that some people, don't like the idea of wearing nice clothes. Now I think that's ridiculous, and I kind of understand the reason why this person was trying to tell me not to wear nice clothes, but that's my choice. And those are one of my pleasures in life, okay? Now, maybe a lot of men in this particular religion don't want their wives to wear nice clothes because they want to keep them in their marriage bond. It's not my responsibility to uphold your marriage vows or make it sanctified or whatever. That's not my responsibility at all. I'm not going to be a scapegoat for somebody or try to make or limit my life because of somebody else. And I think that's ridiculous and it's absurd. You know what I mean? It's not my problem. You know what I mean? I think I dress well. I'm a modest person. I don't show, what do you call it, cleavage or, I think that I am a respectable person on just about every level. I do believe that about myself. There are things I might have done in the past that, I shouldn't have done. Of course, that's everybody. That's a learning experience. But I don't think that I'm somebody who deserves to be blotted out and, basically, unable to promote my projects and the things that I want to do. And because I have this inner belief or suspicion that I am blotted out, I feel very demoralized, because, I that's how I feel, And so, that's what I wanted to say, I feel as though what happened to me was, it was just absolutely devastating to wipe out so many things, and I was just a victim of something. And I know that this goes on with a lot of people. There's a lot of people talking about them experiencing bullying, and extreme bullying, or going to workplaces where, like, people are set up to bully this person or whatever. And and a lot of people are talking about, having issues on Facebook. I was really naive when Facebook came out. Like, I didn't realize that people would use this as a tool to destroy people's lives or talk about them behind their back. It just doesn't occur to me because I don't do those things myself. I do understand that people gossip, but I didn't put the whole connection that people could conspire on Facebook, and I don't know, but I get tired of people, making up dialogues and stories about me when I'm a very basic person. And I've been doing this pretty much the same sort of lifestyle since I don't know, I go to work, come home. That's pretty much what I do. I don't really go out or do anything, but somehow I was made out to be a bad person, my views in life aren't going to change just because somebody wants me to. You know what I mean? I have to be who I am in order to be happy. And this is me. And I don't need people defining who I'm supposed to be. I wouldn't find any enjoyment of life, under those circumstances. And for somebody to expect something like that of me is absurd and terrifying, to be honest with you. Or you making those sort of requests, this is my life, and these are the boundaries that I should set for myself, and I do set these standards. Don't prevent me from doing the things I want to do, and what I do in my life is not the credit of anybody, and it's not to their shame either. It's like I'm doing things in life for my own good, for things that I need to do in my life, whatever those things might be. And it's not for people to jump in or be a part of. And what I do on YouTube is separate from my work life and any other part of my life. It is just my YouTube channel. I don't think of it as like anything that contradicts or anything, because I'm well within my right to believe what I want to believe. I'm well within my right to express my religious views how I want to, and in the form that I want to. And, I do think that some people might possibly be using or want to use my information on occult issues and possibly make some sort of material gain on it. That could possibly be another reason why they want to. And mind you, I haven't even gotten into the deeper stuff that I want to get into. And I think that information would be quite interesting for some people. But I think this is what a lot of people might be hanging around for, possibly to make money off of me. That's a possibility too. And I try not to think too deeply about those sort of things because that would really piss me off. If that was true, you know what I mean? There's a part of me that wants to go and like meditate under the blue light to just think about this and did that really happen? Don't let me know that ever happened because I will lose my mind. Really, I would be pissed off like you wouldn't even believe. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I just wanted to say that, I think what happened in my life put me in a state of mind where, you know, you do become demoralized, you know, and you don't feel like what you do matters anymore. You know what I mean? And it's important that I continue my life path without other people attaching themselves unnecessarily. Meaning, like, you know, YouTube is something that I don't deserve. I didn't deserve, you know, the attack. I don't even understand how people even thought or could have even thought for 1 minute that I did anything wrong. I honestly don't. I mean, and some people might use the excuse, oh, well, I had a child out of wedlock and all this other stuff. I mean, I'm sorry. So what? So people go on with their lives, and should a person have to suffer for the rest of their life because they did something when they were younger? Hey, I made good on my life. You know, I made every effort to find work, and if other people got involved in that, that's not my problem. Yeah, it's not my problem. It's not my fault. I won't take responsibility for it now. You know. But I do take responsibility for my own life, and you know, I would like to grow my channel. You know, but I also have to believe that it's possible too. And if I don't believe that it's possible, then there you go. Then why should I do anything? I don't like to use I think words, and this is another one of my videos I want to talk about, the magical vibration of words. And they do have vibration, you know, and sounds have vibrations and they create things. I don't like to say that I don't care. I don't even like that expression, because the minute you say that, shit gets fucked up. I mean, it literally damns what you do. And I don't like that. But when I think about the garbage and I feel like the ridiculous obstacles that I've had to go through, you know, because of this issue, that was created, I do feel sometimes like, hey, you know, I don't care. You know, and it's not good to feel that way. It's bad to feel that way. You know what I mean? It's very bad to feel that way. But, you know, I've got involved in something that I shouldn't have got involved in. I had no reason to be involved in. And I mean, I feel like I sometimes feel like, man, this is like, it's too weird sometimes for me. And I sometimes feel like, you know, I got short-ended out of the result of somebody just being jealous and being in a situation, or being involved in something they shouldn't have been involved in. And so I'm paying the consequence for that. And it just gets really, really draining at times. So if you do have the power to reverse this hate campaign against me, I would appreciate it, because I really do want to flourish my channel. I mean, like, I miss subscribers, I miss the interaction, I miss the talking, I miss the hearing about different ideas and views on things. And it's not fair that just because somebody was jealous or they didn't like my point of view decides to do some sort of campaign to wipe my name out. It's bullshit. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I'll be back on the other ones shortly. Take care. Bye bye.